we have a post on r/no stupid questions that reads, "Why are so many young men becoming serious supporters of the far right?" Hey everyone, I'm a 24-year-old female from France, and I've been noticing that more and more young people are becoming very serious fans of far right figures. Am I the only one who sees this? For context, I have 3 younger brothers. One is 20 years old, and the younger ones are 18-year-old twins. All of them are big fans of far right ideas and very, very controversial far right figures, and I am not exaggerating. They are not joking about it either. The oldest is in law school, and the twins are in med school, so they are not uneducated. They are not kids anymore, and they are old enough to understand how ridiculous this is, yet they still openly support them. Again, this is not a joke. I know them well, and I can guarantee they are serious. It's clear that this person either hasn't had any in-depth conversation with them about what they actually believe in, or they don't care to listen or believe what they're saying, primarily because they aren't actually giving any examples of the, quote, ridiculous beliefs they have.
So Hans Hermann Hoppe, this guy says, despite the comparatively favorable portrait presented of monarchy, I am not a monarchist. And the following is not a defense of monarchy. Instead, the position taken toward monarchy is this. If one must have a state defined as an agency that exercises a compulsory territorial monopoly of ultimate decision-making, jurisdiction, and of taxation, then it is economically and ethically advantageous to choose monarchy over democracy. Why? What? Why? How? What if the monarch is insane?
Quote, ridiculous beliefs they have, but continuing, they are also extremely racist, homophobic, sexist, and Islamophobic, and constantly insult and mock these groups. Now, let me give you a reality check, and this isn't going to sound very nice, but I know this is a mid-20s liberal woman we're talking to, so they probably won't care to listen anyway. Most guys are crude, unapologetic, insensitive, and looking for solutions most of the time. If we notice a stereotype or pattern, we aren't afraid to point it out, joke about it, and especially if it's a negative stereotype, find out ways to fix it. And we can't trust the government who steals from us to do anything good with our money.
Okay, but do you trust Trump's government? Do you trust Trump's government to do good things with your money? Because, I mean, there's a lot of evidence that they're not doing good things with tax money.
But given how we've let millions of people into our society who don't follow our laws, saturate the job market, and exploit...
They don't follow the laws? What are you talking about, man? Immigrants don't break laws at a higher rate than citizens. And if you break the law, it's not like you get arrested less if you're an immigrant.
Don't follow our laws, saturate the job market, and exploit our welfare system in some manner, how we've defunded the police because of some retarded drug addict.
That's so mean. I don't know anything about George Floyd because he was just a regular citizen, right? He was a private citizen. And I will say this about George Floyd. As far as I know, he wasn't going around parroting right-wing talking points and spreading bad ideas like someone else that got killed on camera that I'm not going to call a name because I have basic respect. You're just listening to really, really wealthy people who despise poor people, including you. You're demonizing groups of people that not only are not nearly powerful enough to have any effect on your life, but are themselves vulnerable and struggling. I mean, how stupid is that? To think like, oh, these wealthy billionaire elites and the president, you know, they're not the ones that are causing my life to be difficult and making it so I have to work, 3 jobs just to keep a roof over my head and feed my kids. It's the people that are struggling even more.
And how our welfare system has expanded way beyond any form of stability.
According to what? According to someone saying that?
And you gotta remember that I think Trump was a Democrat for a long time as well, too.
What does that tell you? A, both parties literally are serving the interests of the ultra wealthy, and B, that these people don't actually believe in anything because both parties represent wealthy elites and, just pretend that you care with populist talking points. In the recent past, there was more than enough voting Americans to elect someone like Bernie Sanders with common sense, economic policies. And the Democratic Party pulled a switcheroo. I think they broke a lot of progressives' brains with the Bernie switcheroo. And now I'm just like not so sure. Because the hope in America is always with the non-voters. There's a huge group of non-voters that could swing things if they engage. And those were the people that were engaged with Bernie Sanders. Because there's a lot of people here that aren't stupid. They aren't loud. They understand basic reality, but they don't, they're not part of the conversation because they're not interested in arguing, which I totally understand. But the question is, what has happened to those people? Are they okay? Are they still around, or have they been radicalized or so disenchanted at this point that they don't care? The Democratic Party just destroyed themselves. They destroyed a lot of people's hope, a lot of people's belief, if they had any belief left in the government doing their actual job and serving the people. In what moment did the far right become mainstream? Yes, please, this is complicated slang. You're doing really good, man. In what moment did the far right become mainstream? I'd say 2016. With Trump, MAGA. Leftist voters are not as gullible. Trump can tell these people anything and they believe it, anything. And when he gets caught lying, they just don't care. Lil R. Tony says, he tried a coup and got away with it. Yeah, I know. And it's fucking insane. I agree. How that doesn't completely disqualify you from ever getting to run for a seat of power ever again, I don't understand.
I do think the left downplays the value of men a lot. Men do some of the hardest jobs in the world. All of the jobs that require an extreme amount of strength and endurance. All these really fundamental jobs that keep the resources coming in at a high level. And to contrast this, the left doesn't even seem to know what men are until they want to insult them,
Yeah. Hey, you know who else does all those hard jobs? Fucking immigrants. Immigrants, dude. What do you have to say about that? I honestly think people like this, like in their minds, leftism is just only women and maybe like, I don't know, queer people.
And it's not to say that women aren't important and don't fulfill important roles, but we definitely have to give a W to Team Men for how they stabilize society in so many ways. Because the left sucks.
Dude,
straight to the
fucking men and women make up society.
Your country is being invaded by third world rapists. Why wouldn't you be far right?
Again, this narrative that immigrants are all murderers and rapists is ridiculous. It's not true. It's stupid. And it is racist. Or bigoted, at least. Men are being persecuted in this country, but all immigrants are rapists and murderers. Neither of those things are true.
So I'm gonna leave it on that. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And
You're not welcome.